The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
Put the power back in your hands. This is Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark.
Welcome to Behind the Law. Happy weekend to you. I am your host, Justin Clark. I'm a lawyer. My beautiful co-host, Michaela Nichols, not a lawyer. She's
Spoiler alert, not a lawyer.
And she also hates the couches, but we've been through that before.
Stop. See, why you got to keep bringing it up?
Because you do hate the couches. You've said it on the air here before.
Oh, no. You said it for me. You said my
That's
inside
right.
thoughts
You said
outside.
it before, and I said it on the air. That's
You
correct.
did. Mm-hmm.
Do you like the couches or not?
No.
See? I mean, that's just rude, number one.
I wasn't
This
gonna
is a great
say
television
anything.
set at a great station.
Listen, I
don't
could come
like
for you too, but I'm not going to.
Anyway,
so.
can we get to the show?
Yeah, I don't know. You started it.
So she's here to ask questions that you at home who are non-lawyers are going to have. I might assume you know it. If you have questions, though, you can call us on the air or off the air. We're here live to answer them. 321-282-1055. The man who's going to start today does not need any introduction. One of our favorite all-time guests, Rajan Joshi, is going to be here. We're going to talk about DUI, the old question, do you blow or do you not blow? That is the question.
Yeah, it is. It sure is.
What?
No, it's just when you say it like that, it's funny.
Also, when can they search your car? If you get pulled over, can the cops actually search your car or not?
I don't know.
Also, a lot of people thinking about starting their own businesses right now. What do you need to do to start your own business and do it the right way? One of my good friends will be here who's starting his own business. Wait till you see this. Are you ready to go?
I am.
Here's what we're going to do, a very short break. When we return, Behind the Law continues with Rajan Joshi. You own a house, you need to have your windows and sliding glass doors checked right away. I'll tell you why. Joined by my good friend Dan Bringman, Renewal by Anderson. How do I know, Dan, when it's time to have my windows and sliding glass doors checked?
Well, it's a great question because it's not always obvious. One of the ways that sticks out immediately is that energy bill. We have to make, we've seen it go up all year long. Got a couple cool days now. A couple other ways are they're not functioning properly. You have some dust on the seals, and also just water infiltration, or maybe you heard a lot of rattling during some wind and so forth.
Absolutely. QR code is on the screen for you right now. What does it cost to have you and your design team come out and see what's going on with my windows?
Absolutely nothing but your time.
That's a beautiful thing, and they're going to come check it out, tell you exactly what you need or don't need sometimes. But a lot of people say, well, Dan, I'm worried about the economy. I don't want to write a big check right now. You've done amazing things to make this almost free sometimes when you compare it to your electric bill.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing to be concerned about, but we take the worry away. What we've done is we've extended our finance plans, and we call them our Easy Pay plans, and they go up to 144 months, and we go as low as 5.97. I mean, that's like really low. Most terms out there go as high as 12, 14%.
And if you think about what you're paying every month versus how you're going to save money on your electricity bill, this is almost free for you and a no-brainer. Dan, always good to see you, buddy. Do yourself a favor right now. Hit the QR code on the screen and call Renewal by Anderson today. Welcome back to the show. One of my favorite, your favorite guests, and I always know he does a great job because everyone in the studio audience here is mesmerized when he talks. Yes. Rajan Joshi joins me, best criminal defense guy in town for sure. Been a minute, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
It's so nice being back.
You're doing such a great job out there representing people who have been charged with a crime. When I think about choosing the right attorney, it is so important in criminal defense because with me, I'm helping people with real estate or this or that. That's important for sure. We're talking about taking away your freedom. How important is choosing an attorney in criminal defense?
It's the most important thing. The attorney you choose makes all the difference in your case. I have a team of attorneys at my law firm, and we try to fight the best we can for every client, and tear down the case, tear down the state's theory of the case, attack the police officer's investigation, and get the best result. And we've been fortunate.
I think there are some criminal defense attorneys out there who are going to take whatever deal is offered by the state without really having to do much. What are the dangers in just taking whatever deal is offered?
Oh, I mean, the hugest danger is, you can plead to something you're not guilty of, or you can plead to something that they can't even prove.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is at my firm, we are the check on the police. We are the check on the government. We are going to hold them to the burden that they are required to by the Constitution. If they can't do that, they're not getting our client. They got to get through us to get to our clients, and we're going to fight.
So how do you feel about cops?
I actually like police officers, to be honest with you. I know your input on it. I like police officers. You know, I battle them every day in court, and you know, I think a lot of times my job is to educate the police, because when they lose a case to me, it keeps everyone safe, because they're not going to search your car if their last search of someone who they found drugs on, the drugs were thrown out of court. They're going to think twice about messing with innocent people. So we are the check on the police, but I respect the job they do. I mean, they have a very dangerous and, you know, huge responsibility.
Yeah, you think about you and I, we went to college for 7 years to do this, 3 years of law school, 4 years in undergrad. And now we've both been practicing more than 20 years. It's taken us a long time, and we're continuing to learn the law. You see some of these police officers who have been in a year, 2 years, 3 years, they just simply can't know everything yet. They're not necessarily even to blame sometimes.
They're not, but you know, the law is the law. Yeah. And you know, people are affected. You know, I see police officers make bad decisions every single day. Sometimes in good faith, sometimes in bad faith. And you know, the thing I take pride in my job is, you know, I keep that check on them. If the police officers step out of line intentionally or unintentionally, I'm going to catch them.
Yeah. All right. So the old Shakespeare quote, right, is to blow or not to blow? That is the question.
Is that what it was?
Oh, maybe that wasn't Shakespeare. Maybe that was me. But it's true, right? And people who are out on the streets, they get pulled over. Sometimes they'll say, the officer will make you blow or do some field sobriety. What do I do in that situation? I know there's no probably great answer or right answer, but what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, the one thing is when I was a prosecutor 25 years ago, the hardest cases for me to prosecute were the ones where the person didn't do those field sobriety exercises, which I would say never do those. Do not do those field sobriety exercises. And the individual did not talk to the police, did not admit they were drinking, you know, 6 beers and out all night, and they didn't blow. Because then all you got is the officer's observation. So you may have a videotape and the person may not look as bad. But when they're talking, when the individual's talking and they're giving the you know, recitation of what they did that whole night, and they're doing these field sobriety exercises, which most people can't do well sober.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do the whole alphabet thing, like the front one. Wow, see, can't even
what
say
is
it.
2 plus 2?
The straight way, the backward way. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I would fail right now.
But if you refuse to blow, there are consequences. You lose your license. It also can be used against you in court if it's your first time DUI. You know, you are entitled to a hardship. But if you blow, when you blow over a .08, you still lose your license. They don't tell you that. So if it's a first-time DUI and you've never refused before, I would say, I would personally, I don't drink, but if I did, I would not blow if I felt impaired. If you've ever refused before, the second time is a crime itself.
Wow. I think the most confusing part is a lot of people, again, don't drink and drive is number one, right?
Yeah.
Do not drink and drive. We're not telling you to do that, but many times couples go out for dinner on a Friday night and maybe have a glass of wine with dinner, with their steak, maybe 2 glasses of wine, and drive home where likely they're not even at .08. And that becomes a really difficult decision at that point. Okay, do I blow? Do I do field sobriety or not? I'll probably pass, but if you don't, if it's .09, you're almost toast at that point.
That is true. And, you know, one thing, every time I try a DUI case, and I've tried a lot, the one thing I educate the jury on, and I make the police officer say it when he's on the stand, is it is legal to drink and drive. It is not illegal. It is not a crime to drink and drive. It is a crime to drive while you're under the influence of alcohol, to the extent your normal faculties are impaired, or you're over a .08. So if you're having, in your scenario, you know, they're probably not over the legal limit, but you've got to be cautious. I would not do the field sobriety exercises no matter what, you know.
I agree with you. Now, here's...
So wait, hang on, time out. So let's say I have 2 glasses of wine, right? And then I was driving. And I blew under. Are they going to be like, oh, like you're fine? Like what if I was at like .7 or .07?
What the state may argue was that, you know, at the time you were driving, you were over a .08, and that your body was metabolizing the alcohol. So an hour later, you're at .07. And I give the counter arguments, and sometimes I get experts to look into the case where somebody may blow a .10. And my argument may be, well, at the time they were driving, at the time they crashed their car, the alcohol hadn't gotten to a point of .08.
Oh, wow.
So you almost can't win. They're like,
No,
oh,
it's not-
yeah,
yeah,
you
it's-
pass, but you don't pass.
Yeah, and a lot of times in those situations, you can get the state. I mean, if you got an aggressive enough attorney, you can possibly get the case dropped or reduced down to a reckless driving. It just depends on the circumstances.
Yeah. If you call my office right now and you say, oh, I'm having some criminal issues, you know what happens? Literally, the people at the front desk call his office and refer you directly to him. I don't get anything out of it. It's because the trust factor I have with Rajan and his firm. Literally, try it right now if you want. Call my office and say you have a criminal issue. I guarantee you they're going to say, okay, call Rajan Joshi. And that's because you do such a wonderful job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Likewise, so does your firm.
Well, we appreciate
you guys
that,
do an incredible job with everything you do. And
so another case happened this week. I won't say names or anything because they'll probably end up calling you. Anyway, the search of the vehicle, okay? When can the police actually search my car?
There's many different factors when they can search it without a search warrant. If they have probable cause to believe that there's any criminal evidence inside. Like a lot of times, the police will believe that they smell marijuana, and they'll go search the car. And we've actually attacked those searches now because hemp is legal, and they can't distinguish the difference between the odor of hemp or marijuana. And we've gotten major drugs thrown out that were found based on that search. They may call the canine to sniff the car, and it may alert. What we're going to do then is we're going to attack the canine. We're going to attack the training records of the canine. We're going to attack whether or not the canine was trained to smell marijuana. If they were, marijuana could be legal, so they may smell something that's legal within the car if the person has a medical marijuana card. So, but there's a lot of scenarios where they can search it without a warrant. If the police are searching it, step back, don't get in their way, don't pick up a resisting charge, and then call the best attorney you can, and they'll attack the search.
We love dogs.
Yeah. No, I love dogs.
But you can't convince me ever that dogs are going to be perfect on this. Oh, dog set next to the car means there's drugs in there. The dogs can't be perfect.
No, they can't. And what I do is I subpoena all the training records of the dogs, all the times that they were out, all the police reports of them. And every time that dog made a mistake, I'm going to count that against the dog, and I'm going to try and make that dog look like it's unreliable, and attack the dog. And I've done it many times. And, you just got to attack. You got to keep attacking everything the state puts out there. You can't just sit back and say, oh, you got my client because the dog sniffed.
When you get charged with a crime or someone in your family's charged with a crime, again, it's the most important decision you can make is what lawyer you are going to hire. And Rajan, a lot of times there's a free lawyer out there, almost free. It's the public defender. And some people are going to go with the public defender. I know you have a lot of respect for the public defenders, but that process is a little bit different. What do you tell someone who can at some point afford a private attorney? What's the difference?
Well, the difference with our law firm is, you got a team of attorneys. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've got an attorney who's been doing it for 20 years, used to run the state attorney's office as the chief assistant. We've got hundreds of jury trials underneath our belt. We work as a team. We want to win. We like to win. That's the thing. I can say there are attorneys out there who will take the case, and it's like a conveyor belt. They will try and plead out, make room for the next case. We don't take on every case that calls. We're selective because we want to give the clients we got the best representation that we can give them.
That's awesome.
No, it's huge. It's so important
thank you.
But the public defender's office, they have a lot of cases, right?
They do have a lot of cases. I respect them. They work hard, but they can be overworked, and sometimes they may not have the time to put into their cases. Now, I've hired people from the public defender's office. I look for the most aggressive people, and I recruit them. And you can't choose your attorney. You get what you get stuck with. So you can only just hope for the best at that point.
Rajan Joshi, Joshi Law Firm,
Thank you.
man, the best of the best. Always. You got to come back more. It's been way too long.
I'm learning something
I feel like we
super
barely
valuable.
scratched the surface.
No, I know.
It's always a pleasure. I love coming on here, and
any questions about your criminal issues whatsoever, 321-282-1055. I'll connect you with Rajan immediately. Here's what we will do, a very quick break. You're thinking about starting a business, are you? What are some steps that you need to take to ensure the success of your business? As Behind the Law continues.
Did you know that filing for bankruptcy can help you lower your mortgage or car payments or potentially help you eliminate your IRS or credit card debt? I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, call me now or visit youhavepower.com for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the show. I want to talk to you that have been thinking about starting your own business. What should you do? There are a few things that you must do as you start this business to make sure that you are really set up for success. Number one, I think you must get an accountant or a bookkeeper. You've got to get the QuickBooks set up from day one. Before you take any payment, before you have any expenses whatsoever, make sure QuickBooks is ready to go. Because what happens a lot of times, people start a business and then they're working so hard, trying to make money, that they're like, oh, I'll get to that. I'll update QuickBooks later. Then months become years. You get behind on it. You get behind on taxes. The IRS comes after you. Just a very bad way. Also, really, you need to talk to a CPA about how you want to set up the business. Are you an S Corp, LLC, sole proprietor? Those can make huge differences when it comes to your tax obligations at the end of the year. Those are the two things you really, really have to start with. You've started a few businesses.
Yes.
You're very rigid when it comes to.
No, I just don't want to have problems.
So you're rigid.
Yes.
But no, that's good though. I like that about you. You make sure everything's taken care of.
I take care of you.
Speaking of someone who has recently started their own business, happens to be a good friend of mine, and I think this really invention is unbelievable. I think you're going to like it as well.
I'm already impressed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Sheppard joins me. Carl, how are you? Welcome to the program. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
So what have you created here? And I know a little something about this because I've played the game. I've been involved with it a little bit. It's fascinating.
Okay.
What do you have?
Let me touch on what you said first.
All
Business of bank account, critical.
Yeah.
You spend your own money, you take wallet out. I bought some of this stuff myself. Then later you're like, what receipt was that? What store?
Yeah.
Business bank account, number one.
Totally agree.
Business license, sales tax.
Yep.
Those are the three. Don't forget to pay your sales tax.
I couldn't agree more.
Every 3 months, all the time. So that's like the business part. Then you have to have a product, and then you have to have customers. So I believe I have the product, and one of the reasons I'm here today is to try and get some customers. And one of the things we talked about before I sat down, I'm calling this whale world. There's Shark Tank. You're not Kevin. She's not Barbara.
That's right.
But there's someone out there who's going to see this game and play it and know this is the best game they've ever played. Yeah. Uno has sold 125 million decks.
Wow.
So I'm shooting for 250.
All right, let's go get
That's a
them.
good
It's
number.
twice as good a game. I should sell twice as
Uno
many.
is the highest selling card game ever, right?
Card game
Wow.
ever. So I invented a deck. It's made with high quality blue core. They're called casino cards. I invented the deck and I invented the game, and the name of the game is 1, 2, 3. But the slogan is as easy as 1, 2, 3, as tough as the competition. I can't shuffle while I talk. The reason I call it that is because it's a super simple game to play. He took it home, played it with your kids. They loved it.
Yep.
But that's the basic game. There's 4 levels with the same deck. In the harder games, the game becomes more difficult. So my father toured on the professional poker tour for a while, didn't make money, but it was the last thing he did in his life, and it's what he wanted to do. He played it with his friends, and they said this game is better than Texas Hold'em.
Wow.
I believe within a year, they're going to have 1, 2, 3 card rooms in the Las Vegas casinos. That's how good this game is. So I'm here to explain it, show it, and then again, on my website, which is 123thecardgame.com, simple to remember, there's a contact button. If you buy my game and you like it and you know it's the best game ever, contact me. Put me in Walgreens and you will be my whale. Put me in Walmart and you will be my whale. I'm just a retired Air Force guy with a great idea, a game I invented when I was a kid, and now I have decks and I'm trying to get it out there. And then my other thing is, this is a poster that's also a maze that when you do it with colored ink, it becomes beautiful.
Wow.
It becomes more artistic as you do it. When my grandchildren came to see me for the first 2 days, I could not get them to put down their cell phones.
I bet they had the best time ever.
Yeah.
But when I put these on the table, All 4 of them dropped their cell phones and came over, and I'm going to get it. I can find my way through. And when you add the colors to them, they just become more artistic, beautiful art. So they can be done and wiped away, and the next kid can do it with different colors until all the kids have found their way through. And it comes as a complete set. You get these 2, which are sort of, this isn't the original, Colossus, the original puzzle maze. And then this one, I call No Way, In or Out. It's the hardest puzzle maze. And then this one has beautiful messages. Now in this administration, I'm actually allowed to say that this is more the female one. It says, what do you see in the clouds? Beauty, faith, hope, possibilities, power, dreams, and destiny. So not only is the children doing it, but he's getting a super positive message. And then this one is the male version. It's called Geometry, but it also has messages that include geometry, square deal, angle of view, what's the point? So it's making them think. It's hands-on, it's hand-eye coordination, it's decision-making, and it's not electronic.
Right.
But then on my Kickstarter site, I'm going to have all of these cut into jigsaw puzzles. And they will be the best jigsaw puzzles ever. And it's going to be a complete package. You'll get this one and this one as one jigsaw puzzle, 2-sided. So if you go to my website, 123thecardgame.com, you can also support my Kickstarter and get these cut into jigsaw puzzles. So back to the business part. I went to try to sell them by myself. You go to a flea market, and it's beautiful. When you see a family with 2 kids come up, and the kids immediately start, and the parents take it home knowing. So for that part, it was beautiful for me to see the impact. Because when I design these, like with messages, I'm not just trying to make money, I'm trying to make people happy. So to see it make families happy was beautiful. But I can't go to flea markets and make enough money.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I'm here today. So if you go to 123thecardgame.com and you can help me market this, contact me, and I'll bring you in. I mean, you know, some people start with money behind them. My son recently retired from the Air Force. I'm an Air Force veteran. Him and me put this together ourselves, you know, out of our own bank accounts. So like I say, you know, when I buy a $15 easel or a $30 this or a $20 that, it's adding up pretty quick. It adds up. And I'm just a little guy. So customers, that's the final thing.
How can people help? If someone's watching right now, how can they help? How can they get involved?
They can go to 123thecardgame.com, hit the contact button, and say, my name is Mike, I live in Illinois, I love your product, and I'd like to help. And I'll call them personally.
Yeah. Talk to me about the card game a little bit. How does it work?
Okay, the card game is great and simple to play. You get 12 cards, you make 3 4-card hands, and you set them down in front of you. You know, upside down, 1, 2, 3. Everybody turns over the first hand, the winner gets 1 chip. Everybody turns over the second hand, the winner gets 2 chips. Everyone turns over the third hand, the winner gets 3 chips. But then in the more advanced games, you can put challenge chips on. 1 on the 1, 2 on the 2, 3 on the 3, which are like a bluff. Other players can accept them or not. The winner gets his points. Only the people who accepted the challenge get the challenge chips. So you can use them as a bluff. You can put 3 chips. The people that have played this game love it. And the more they play it, the more they love it. Because the strategy of first getting your own cards and deciding, well, I could make 1 good hand and 2 medium hands, or I could make 3 medium hands, but is my good hand good enough to win 3?
Right.
See? So what'll happen is after a few rounds, everybody will start backing off and trying to win the 1 and 2s, and then someone wins the 3 hand with a pair. See? So, and then, oh, now I can get the 3. So it's a continuously strategic game. That's why it's called 1, 2, 3. As easy as 1, 2, 3, but as tough as the competition.
That's right.
The better the player, the better the game becomes. And when this game is in Vegas at a poker room, which it will be, there's 72 cards in the deck. It's a 6-player game. All the cards are out. Never in poker can you have a lock, because there's cards that are unseen. In this, once you turn over the first, and there's 4 levels. In the tournament level, you don't put your challenge chips out until someone has turned over the first hand, and then the second. So by the time you get to the third hand, you have a huge idea. You see someone played a good hand on the 2, so you don't think they have a good hand on the 3. And instead of just putting a little chip on the card, you're putting a $2,000 or $3,000 bet. It's going to be the best game Vegas has ever seen. And I'm going to have a card room
I
there.
think it's already the best game. It's just now getting people to
Correct.
find out about it, Carl. Great job.
That's all I need is customers.
Good to see you, brother. Good job. Hey, support Carl. Support what he's doing here. It's an amazing game for sure. 123cardgame.com.
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right, here's what we'll do. A very quick break.
The card game.
The card game. Yeah, it'll be on the screen. How was that?
There you go.
You ready for this?
I am.
Here's what we will do. A very quick break. When we return, we wrap it up with What Did We Learn?
It is never a bad time to prioritize your health, your well-being. That is why I come to Bellam Wellness. I'm joined by Dr. Zadie. You are a primary care physician first and foremost, but you started Bellam Wellness. Tell me a little bit about why you started it.
Bellam actually has been my passion from quite some time. I wanted to do something a little bit more than the primary care, so we can take care of patients from inside out. We want them to feel better.
It means beautiful soul, right?
Beautiful soul, absolutely.
And I love that because not only do you offer some aesthetic services, but pain management, you really do it all. Tell me about some of the other services you offer here.
The main is, which I love the most, is my laser services.
I love it too. That's where I get my laser hair removal.
So the most common, as you know, is our laser hair removal, but we do the fine lines, wrinkles, scars.
Spider veins.
Spider veins, absolutely. That's one of my favorite to perform, actually, because you can see the results instantaneously. And scars, as I mentioned, and brown spots, pigmented spots.
Because we all have something that we're a little insecure about because we
Right.
always look in the mirror, but you really help people find the beauty within themselves and kind of fix those little imperfections along the way. Dr. Zadie, I trust you with all my aesthetic related services.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you and your
Thank you.
family is so inspirational. I love the husband, the kids, all of them. I really enjoy coming here.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to continue giving service to you and the whole of the Central Florida.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. If you want to check out this amazing list of services, look no further than Bellam Wellness.
We wrap it up as we do every Saturday with you with What Did We Learn? Michaela Nichols, what did you learn?
I learned a couple things. I was just thinking about what I was going to say. I really learned to just not blow. Don't blow. Don't do it.
It's a family program.
I know. Well, don't do it. And I also learned that I'm so excited to be coloring these mazes and trying to find my way through it and playing this card game. I know my mom's going to love it.
She is. I can't wait to watch her play with the card game. I'm very impressed with what Carl.
1, 2, 3, the card game.
I'm very impressed with what Carl's been doing. Also, Rajan's always a fantastic guest. And
He's so informed.
I know.
Like, if I was ever in a situation, I would call him, for sure.
it's just he always outdresses me. Today he outdressed me by like 30 times.
Yeah, he just blew you out of the water. It's
and
okay.
of course, way stronger than I am.
Yeah, he could definitely outlift you.
So here's the thing, though. What I learned from Rajan, I think, mostly is it seems like once you get pulled over, if the cops want to find a reason to search your car, they're pretty much going to, and you got to deal with it. But he was dead set on not doing any of those field sobriety tests at all.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do them right now. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl Sheppard. Good job. Thank you, Michaela Nichols, as always.
Thank you, Justin Clark.
You got it. To our amazing team here in the studio. They're the best of the best, wouldn't you say?
They sure are.
Most importantly, thank you. We will see you again next weekend for more Behind the Law.
Did you know that filing for bankruptcy can help you lower your mortgage or car payments or potentially help you eliminate your IRS or credit card debt? I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, call me now or visit youhavepower.com for a free consultation.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.